addicts, it's Jamie, and I am here because so many people have been asking me questions in the comments of the YouTube videos that I put out that I thought I'll do a little Q&A and kind of get to know me a little bit and how the studio came to be and a little bit about myself. You guys asked some really good questions, so I'm really excited to share. This is gonna be kind of more of like a get to know me type of thing and not so much of a like fitness and nutrition informational type of video, which we'll do later, but we're just gonna save those. All right, so can you speak Spanish? Un poquito. Just a little. I was in school from 6th grade, no, maybe 7th grade. I began Spanish lessons. I took it all through college. I love the language. I think it's beautiful, and I really wish that I knew how to speak more fluently. For a while, I could speak pretty fluently and hear and interpret it, but now I can read Spanish for the most part. I think that's probably the easiest part of it, but to speak it fluently, not as well as I wish. But I really wish I could, but that's not gonna stop me from singing those Latin songs that I know. Okay, what made you want to change your career and get into fitness? Had always wanted to be a fitness instructor since I was little. I always said that I wanted to make fitness videos on TV. I would ask my mom, I would do like aerobics videos, and I would ask my mom, how do you get to do that? And she's like, I don't know. And so I just always kind of wanted to do that. I've always loved movement and dancing and fitness since I was very little. I was obsessed with aerobics videos. I would do them over and over and over until I would know the routine. I would know what the instructor was gonna say, when she was gonna say it. I could hear it in my head before she said it because I did the video a million times. I'm sure some of you can probably relate because I know you've done some of our videos over and over and over. I was actually, before I was a fitness instructor, I was an elementary school teacher. I went from kindergarten to 3rd grade to 6th grade, and then I taught PE all in the course of 5 years. And I realized that after all of that time, I was still looking for something different, and it just wasn't the right path for me. I loved it, but there was just something missing. You know how it's like your instinct, you know, it's not really where you're meant to be. After I had my son, I was unhappy with myself and kind of getting a little postpartum depression. So a friend of mine invited me to a Zumba class. I had no thoughts that it was going to be life-changing as it was. I sweated my you-know-what off. I was in the bathroom with my hands under the sink, drinking water, thinking I was going to throw it because it was so much harder than I thought. And I wore long sleeves and pants. So lesson learned. I felt like a complete and total idiot. Felt like I was just flying around everywhere and I couldn't get the moves, and she wasn't cueing and telling me what to do, which is the magic of Zumba. I didn't know at the time, but I said, I'm not going back. I'm not gonna go back and do that. I don't know, I felt like an idiot and I don't like it. 48 hours later, I was like, I'm gonna go back. And you know, the rest is kind of history. I started teaching fitness out of an elementary school gym, just Zumba classes, a couple days a week. We got so packed that we had people dancing in the hallways and people saying, I don't care if there's not enough room for me, I'll listen to the music and dance in the bathroom. I mean, it was just that special. But sound restrictions and just space restrictions really limited us from space to space. And I had no intention of opening my own fitness studio. But when we had relocated 3 or 4 times, I was about to give up, and my best friend all the way from elementary school, all the way, I mean, even to this day, it's my girl. She said, my dad has a shopping center, he'll let you do month-to-month leases, because I was so scared. It was just the thought of it was so scary. So we started with 1,000 square feet, I think 2 classes a day maybe. Cami was the first instructor that I had work with me, and I had to beg her to do that. The rest is kind of history, and if you would have told me 6 years ago this is where I would be now, no way. I wouldn't have believed it. So, you know, anything is possible. And I'm so thrilled that I made that decision. I know that was a really long answer, but gosh, there's so many more details. I could do a whole YouTube video on that story and everything that we've gone through to get where we are. What is your favorite jam song or routine? Seriously? I have to pick one. But after thinking really hard about it, the songs that I love the most are the ones that make me feel there's just this uncontrollable joy inside of me, and I don't want to cue, I don't want to talk, I don't want to instruct, I just want to do the routine, and I cannot help but just smile and feel so much joy from it. And I think, honestly, the top routine, the top song for me is Clearly by Dylan Hyde. I love that song so much. I love the routine. I used some inspiration from Wildebeest Adams' dance routine. I mean, talk about trying to rewind and watch in slow motion just to get one dance move because he's so amazing. That's probably, I would say, my favorite. Okay, this one's kind of funny. How much money do you make on YouTube? Unfortunately, I know some people know this, some people don't. We use popular music. We get no money from those videos. The recording artists and YouTube and Google, they take all the revenue from it. And I mean like zero. You know, we're looking at some different solutions, some different ways to make money. We started a Patreon account, and that's part of the question too. Are there any ways that we can support you? And I so much appreciate that question. In the description to all my videos, there's links to Venmo and PayPal to help so that we can keep making these videos. It is not a cheap process because they're such high quality, and between our videographer and the time it takes, and it's pretty costly. We also have a Patreon account where you can donate $2 a month up to $10 a month. There's different tiers. You can check that out. Links in the description too. I'm not gonna get into too much detail with that. That is the sad truth of being a creator on YouTube that creates artwork that involves popular music. But it's okay. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna get it done. Tell us a little about you, your dreams or inspirations.
Mom, look what just came in.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I've been waiting for this. Do you know how many emails I've sent to YouTube? That is awesome. I've sent so many emails to them because you're supposed to get a plaque when you reach 100,000 subscribers, and never in a million years did I think it would get to that point. But awesome. Thanks, dude. Are you wanting me to open it?
Yeah.
I'll do it at the end of this video real quick, okay? And I'll put it on here. You guys, you wanna see what a plaque looks like? I'll call you down and then bring something to open it with when you come back. I'm excited about that. I wasn't sure I was actually gonna get it. I was like starting to think it was a YouTube hoax. My dream, I guess, would be to continue to help to motivate and inspire people to work out because it's the best thing for their body, and it provides a higher quality of life and a longer, happier life where you can be active and not sick. That's why I do what I do. It has nothing to do with, I get no enjoyment from thinking that I gave someone, you know, a size 4 pant, unless that someone was super unhealthy before and now they feel like they can take on the world because they've gotten their health and their strength back. I've heard the saying, and it rings so true to me, that a healthy man has 1,000,000 dreams and a sick man has 1 dream, and that's to be healthy. And so I just want to continue to be able to help people feel better and know the difference in a life where you're healthy and strong mentally and physically than a life where you are in this roller coaster of depression, anxiety, self-hate, and food addiction, or eating disorders. I've been in many of those dark places, and I just want to continue to help people that are feeling that darkness just come into this life filled with joy and happiness and dance and love, and that really is my dream. I don't know what that looks like. I've wanted to entertain the idea of doing a tour, especially now that I have some YouTube subscribers that might want to meet me in different places. Right now, my dream is just to make it through this year and bounce back from everything, you know, that's happened. And I know that will happen as well. I appreciate you asking that question and being interested in that part of my life. So thank you. How did you get involved in fitness instruction, and what certs would you recommend? So I kind of already answered that with my long story about that. There are so many certifications that you could get. You know, it's not really about the certification, it's about the passion and getting started. And so many people think that you have to have, you know, all these fancy letters behind your name, and that's just not true. It's what's in here. So the more you want to learn, I fully encourage you to find something you love and go out and learn everything you can about it. Where do you get your workout clothes? They're always so cute and not boring. The way that you dress to your class is going to give you confidence, and it's going to make you feel good, especially for a class like Jam. I get most of my workout clothes from the retail store that I own, that's part of the studio. We make a lot of our own branded shirts, obviously, so I really don't shop outside of the retail store. We have a Instagram account. It's The Movement. So if you're interested, you can look on there. We do ship. Most of it's Lululemon and studio apparel. Hello from Mexico. What kind of dance did you start with and at what age? So I've never taken a dance lesson. I always wanted to, I never did. So my dance lessons came from Michael Jackson music videos. In my 20s, I watched a lot of So You Think You Can Dance, and I listened very carefully. I always thought, man, I want to be like that. I want to look like that. And I was so admired them. I've always loved dancing. I was on the dance team in high school, but that is pretty much it. So Zumba was really the beginning of my dance career. I hope that that encourages some of you guys to keep going when you feel like you need to be able to dance, because you don't. I mean, I'm telling you, that Zumba class was the first time I had really danced in forever. And when I danced before, it wasn't with a professional instructor. How did you and Cami become friends? So Cami was a teacher at the elementary school where I got a job at. I actually took her classroom. She moved from 3rd grade to 4th grade, and I was switching to 3rd grade. And I mean, talk about a God moment. Out of all the jobs that I could have gotten, I got the one that was her classroom. Someone who loves fitness and loves dancing and is one so dear to me, that has had such a huge impact and influence on my work and my passion and my success. I mean, I can't imagine the last 6 or 7 years without Cami. She's such a beautiful person. I'm so thankful that God put me in that place, in that time, at that moment to meet her. How can you dance and cheer us up at the same time? Dance for me is the way that I cheer myself up, and I just want to share that with others. And I've been in the place where I dance filled with insecurity versus danced filled with confidence. And the two experiences are like gray and light. It's like, you know, flat and dark. And then on the other end of that, it is happiness and fun and light and meaning. I just think what I want you guys to feel and how I could help you feel that. What do you say to someone who is scared to begin? That's normal. Everyone is scared. Everyone is scared. I was scared to death to sign up for my certification. I still, to this day, after 8 years of teaching, still get so nervous before I film or before an event filled with people that love me and know me, that I will like have to go in the bathroom and be like, Jamie, you got this, girl. Take a breath. You can do it. So that's what I encourage you to do. You're scared. Think about what's scarier, the thought of beginning and struggling and getting to this place where there is so much happiness and joy, or the thought of allowing your fear to keep you from ever beginning and staying in that same place forever. So think about that and then let that move you. Just look at yourself and you say, listen here, sister, I know you can do this, so do it. Do you ever feel incapable to finish a video? One time I thought, I'm not gonna make it. I really physically don't think I'm gonna be able to do this. And it was the grindin' video, the hip hop Tabata, we call it grindin'. And it was my 4th filming of the day. And that workout is hard. That workout, it's fun, and I wanted it to be fun, but man, I really thought, I'm gonna have to tell Austin, our videographer, like, you're gonna have to give me a 30-minute break. I can't do this. And I just kept telling myself, get through it, keep going. That's what you tell everyone else. You can do this. You get a break after this is over. Just go, go, go. So that's the only time I've really, really felt like that. How do you decide on playlists or music? I spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours listening to music, watching YouTube videos of my favorite dancers. So they always have the best music. Looking back at So You Think You Can Dance playlists, because I always loved their music and it was always so unique. So many different strategies to try to find music that is different, original, but still new. It's a long process. It takes a lot of time. How did you meet Jeremy? So Jeremy and I went to high school together. I had a huge crush on him. Him, not so much on me. He didn't even know I existed. I didn't know that at the time, but he was really good friends with my sister and her husband. He was in their wedding, and so was I. So it was their wedding reception, and my dad actually said, hey, why don't you go ask my daughter to dance? My husband's super, super shy, He doesn't talk a whole lot. I don't know, there's just something about him that I was like, I really like this guy. But that was pretty cool, kind of fate and destiny type of thing too. And I thought, man, if I marry him, then he's best friends with my sister's husband, and I get to hang out with my sister and her husband, and we get to like hang out as friends. Who inspires you to dance? You guys. The girls at the studio, you know, it used to be Michael Jackson, all these dancers on So You Think You Can Dance, but I just always felt like that was so far out of my reach. But every bit of my inspiration and my motivation now comes from you and I all the girls at the studios. Maybe that is you, maybe you're watching. They are really, truly like a second family to me. And I'm so fortunate to have so many people in my life that are such inspirations that I love and that love me back. What does your typical day look like? Work. I work a lot. Wake up, usually like at 4 o'clock in the morning, teach class at 5 a.m., come back. A lot of times I have to go back and teach another class at 9:30. I'm actually getting ready to leave to teach some evening classes, take time to spend as much as I can with my kids and my husband, who also helps with the video editing and YouTube stuff. And it's a lot of work. 2020, I think I've worked more this year than I ever have in my entire life. It's gonna pan out. It already has, because my second family has grown so much. But my typical day is mostly work from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep. In the evenings, my day definitely looks like a margarita, or I love whiskey and Coke Zero. Definitely helps to unwind a little bit there, so yep, for sure. With your rigorous schedule, how do you prevent injuries? I don't get injuries because of my rigorous schedule. People ask me that a lot, but I don't, because my body is conditioned to that rigorous schedule. I'm not saying I've never had an injury, I have, but when I do get an injury, I don't let it set me back. So, you know, maybe I'll wear a knee brace or ice or take some ibuprofen, but I bounce back from it so quickly because I've conditioned my body for the types of workouts that I do, because I just keep pushing through. I'm not a doctor. Do not take that advice from me. I'm not giving you medical advice. Do you have other hobbies besides dancing? Actually, dancing is just a very small part of the fitness that I teach. I teach yoga, hip hop yoga. I teach, ignition, so inspirational fitness. I think that my hobby besides dancing would just be fitness in general, and learning about the kind of fitness instructor that I want to be, because it's so important that I'm conveying the message that I want to convey. And so I do a lot of research on that. And I guess my hobby would probably be self-help. I had one more question, and this is it. Probably the hardest question that I got. What would be your advice to your younger self? Before I answer this, hey Jack, we're gonna open our YouTube plaque. My advice to my younger self. I thought really hard about this. So the question, or the answer to that question would be, forgive yourself for your mistakes. It's so hard for me. I always held on to like this shame for the mistakes that I'd made and felt like it made me less worthy. And I really think that held me back from so many things that I wanted to accomplish, just thinking that I wasn't worthy of it or I didn't deserve it. And thinking there's no way that someone like me that's made the mistakes that I've made would ever be blessed in that way. And then I realized that that's not how God works. That's not how faith works. And so if I could go back, I think I would save myself a lot of heartache if I would just tell myself, forgive yourself, show compassion for yourself. You're gonna make mistakes. That does not devalue who you are. So, hey.
Hey.
Oh.
Here is your scissor.
Okay. We're gonna, what is this called, an unboxing?
Yes.
All right, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Have you ever seen one of these? I haven't. Have you?
No, not in real life.
I don't even think I've ever seen one in fake life.
What?
You guys, this is your gift to me. You realize that, right? Oh, whoa. So pretty. Never ever, I didn't even know these things existed.
Really?
I had no idea.
The studio by Kinkeade for passing
100,000 YouTube subscribers. Wow. You guys, it's kind of surreal. This is so cool. But the plaque that Jackson made me for 50,000 subscribers will forever be my very, very favorite of all time. Thank you so much for taking some time to ask a little bit about me. You guys asked some awesome questions. I'm so thankful for you. This is so cool, right?
Yeah.
Aren't you thankful for our subscribers?
Yes,
And our...
very.
Until next time, y'all, have a fantastic day.
Day.
That wasn't even planned.
Bye.
Bye.